Hello, Jamie Rogers here for Craftmania. We decided at Craftmania you might like a few last minute ideas on the run up to Christmas. As we go through November at full speed, we know that Christmas isn't far away, and you, like me, may be a little bit late in starting your cards, need all the inspiration we can give you. So today we're going to have a little look at this card, which is really pretty and really easy to do. Actually, really easy to do. So hopefully this is going to be one of them cards you could batch make if you're running out of time, or maybe if you're selling your cards, you could really make a lot of these very quickly. But hopefully your recipient would never guess how simple this is to create. Now we have lots of cards on show here that Pete's going to scan over, and I'm going to try and talk about a few of these at the end after we've made this card and show you different formats in which you could be using the dies we're going to be looking at. But basically, in short, all of the bits you're scanning over are all available on the Craftmania website. If you've not visited us before, it's ever so easy to find. You're just going to head to www.craftmaniacrafts.com and you'll be able to purchase all of the bits I show you on today's video. Lots of these are actually on offer. We've got some different promotions running online at the moment throughout November. I'll talk to you more about those at the end of the video, but all of the bits you need for this, you're going to be able to find it in a little section. Across the top of our website, we have little drop-down menus. The one you want to go to is as seen on TV. If you give that a little click, a whole list of sections will come down. And the one you're looking for all of the products from today's video is November-YouTube-last minute Christmas ideas. And everything's in there and lots of stuff is on offer too. So with that in mind, let's jump in and have a little look at this card, shall we? Now, this year, Sue Wilson has brought out some incredible dies, lots of incredible dies, but this one is one of my favourites. This is actually using our Snowflake endless options. Now I'm going to bring in some boards here to share with you. So there's two different components to the endless options for the snowflakes. We have our edges. Now these are edger dies which can be used completely separately. You don't have to have them with the background. You could of course use these, they're going to stay on your card, or they're going to cut out these lovely filigree pieces or swirly pieces. You can use them completely on their own. As you can see, you're going to have solids and open work. So the open work fits on top of the solids to give you more decoration. So for instance, like this bit, which really looks like a nice jewel border, you could pop that on top of here to cut that out to make it look like this, or we could cut them as you see them here and pop the solid colour underneath the open work one to give you different colour effects. Or here's where it gets really fun, they match to go on top or with your background. So this is your background effect. This is bringing in just a couple of the border elements. So when we look at bits on our board here, like this wave that's going through the middle there, that could go on top of your board or on top of your die like this one, and it could trim across there and actually mean that you're going to end up with a panel like this. Or you could go for this lovely jeweled edge and pop that in here, and that would trim away this part. So you've got that edge. Now, as you can probably guess already, we could be layering these up in different colours. We could take these elements and layer them on top in different colours. This set is called Endless Options for a reason. There literally is endless options. Not only can we do all of these bits with our background die or with our edges, we can actually join together our die as well. When we look at this, I'm going to be showing you this one being cut in a moment so you've got an idea, but I'm going to bring it in just for a second here. The actual background doesn't have a blade running around the side of it. So that means that it's going to stay in your cardstock. So if you wanted to make this an aperture on the front of your card, you could do. Or like here, we've literally cut one, moved it up and cut another one. So as long as your piece of card is long enough, or if you're happy to join them together, you could keep this pattern going on and on and on if you want to. So maybe if you're somebody who makes crackers, for instance, that could be the inner barrel of your cracker. Then you could do something like these to go along the edges of your crackers. So not only are these good for cards, not only are they good for scrapbook pages, they could also come in really handy for all your Christmas decorations too, if that's something you like to do. I personally love scrapbooking. Christmas is one of them times I really like to get all my photos and go scrapbooking and really bring all them family memories together. These are going to be really helpful for that too. So just very versatile dies. We're going to talk, as I said, through a lot of the cards later, and I'll show you different ways in which we can use them. But to begin with, I thought I'd actually show you the die cutting, because I think it's always important that you actually see them actually working and get an idea of what they're going to do. So I'm going to bring in our new machine here. Now, if you haven't seen this, these are a new product we're stocking at the moment at Craftmania. They're an A5 machine, and we actually have them on offer, but they're amazing. And we've got a video telling you more about this machine on our YouTube channel. But one of the bits, I'll just quickly, that I do really like about this, actually has a magnetic cutting plate. So when you come to bring your dies on it, although I've got a bit of tape ready to hold my piece of card in place, I don't need to worry that my die is going to move. It's going to stay in place on my plate. That makes my life a lot more easy. And I love this machine mostly for that reason, but it certainly adds up to just some of the benefits that I like from it. The machine itself is on offer actually. These should be $79.99, but at the moment at Craftmania we have them on offer for only $67.99. So again, really good time to get hold of them and make a lovely present as well. So you might have to talk to Father Christmas about adding one of these into your stocking. So we'll send that through, and usually one cut is just enough for this. If you wanted to, if you're not sure, you can always bring it back. But as you can see, these dies do cut really well. So I'll take off all this messy bit, throw that on the floor, and we'll pull our die off there, or cut off. So a little bit of tape on there holding it in. So actually we'll just lift that up and remove our tape from the ends there, just so we don't damage any of our die. There we go. Now all of these bits will pop out. They're all cut perfectly fine. Between the quality of the machine and the quality of the die, we don't need to worry about any of them bits. I've got one here actually I've already cut, save you watching me poke them all out. Now one of the bits I like about this is because it will stay in the card, if we wanted to, we could also turn this into like box tops and bits like that. And I'm going to bring in another sample quickly, because although we'll look at a few more at the end of this, I think this is a really good way to show you. So this is our box top. So all I've done for this one is I've cut it out of a large sheet of card and then scored it on all four sides just to make my box element, which is a really lovely way for you to do these. So especially, you know, several ways of talking about this. Maybe you've bought a present that you don't want to wrap because it's an awkward shape. Make a box for it. Maybe you've bought a cheap present, which we do sometimes, don't we? We don't always want to spend the world on maybe a teacher's present or a home help's present or your postman's present, but you want them to know you cared. You want them to know you've done a bit more than just bought them a box of matchmakers. Well, make them a box to put it in, and it's a nice special way to give a gift. Shows that you care, shows you've put a bit more effort into it, even if you haven't spent a fortune on it. Or maybe you've got somebody who's a little bit more tricky to buy for, or somebody who's into makeup, but you don't want to just give them loads of different bits of makeup. How about making a little box and making a set, making them a collection to give them? Or if you've got a crafter in mind, something like our little opal blaze pots would fit really nicely in here. You could put them in and a couple of the mini smoothies and give it to a crafter at your craft group, and they're going to love the gift and they're going to love the box. So I think it's just a really nice way to dress up your presents, and a really nice way to dress up them inexpensive presents sometimes we want to use. So not only can we cut this, we can also bring more elements in, as I mentioned earlier. So I have our borders here. So these are your Snowflake edger borders. These can literally marry up and go on top of here. So if I wanted to add more detail to this die cut, I could pop this on, I could pop these on down the sides, and I could send that through, and we could have more filigree work cut into these panels. This would make it really nice if we was to put vellum behind it, put it into maybe a shadow box or like a little square tea light holder, and then put inside them battery operated candles, because all that light's going to flow through, come out of all of them apertures in here or the holes in there, really light up, looking very pretty. So again, just another option for you to use. If you, like me, are falling in love with these, by the way, and you're thinking, well, I've already done all of my Christmas cards, I don't need them now. We also have, I think it's 5 versions of everyday designs that work in exactly the same way. You have your edges, you've got your panels. Lots of them are on offer on our website as well at the moment. There's also, in the same with our Snowflake one, I believe there's a bundle where you can buy the edges and the background panel together, but we are getting quite limited stocks on them, so you might want to check them out sooner rather than later. But there are money-saving ways to buy them too, as well as buying them individually if you wish to just start and add to your collection as you go. The choice is yours. So we're going to pop that one to one side, and we're going to bring in our card again, because it's important that we see what we've done to actually create this one. So what I've done is I've cut my backing out of white, exactly the same as you just see. I haven't added the bits in the middle on the front of it. What I have done instead is I've used the edges. So again, using your edges, I've cut some silver pieces and I've put them over the top. So literally just use the edge on any piece of scrap silver card, silver mirror card, trim it round the sides on your guillotine, and then I've laid them on the two sides at the top. I've then taken this lovely bit that goes behind the jewel panel. So this is the bit that we can cut out if we want to have a jeweled border, or we can just use the background. And I've cut that in silver and I've laid it in the middle. Now the reason I've done this is because I wanted to keep this sort of fretwork bit down the side, which again would be really nice for threading ribbon through, if you're somebody who likes to work with ribbon or threads, bits like that. But I wanted to keep that as a little aperture element so that I've got some white shining through on my card. But I also wanted to keep the silver because I wanted it to be more metallic. I've then taken a piece of our Midnight Blue Pearl cardstock, which is one of my all-time favourite cards. Again, you're going to find this on the website. We do it in single sheets or packs of 20. And I've cut out the background die, and I've gone in and I've popped on my edges. So this obviously is that lovely jewelled bit in the middle, cutting out all these apertures. These are these lovely S-shaped parts of the stitching detail, which I've popped on to do the sides here. And I've left it all as one solid sheet. I've popped on a bit of foam tape on the reverse, and I'm going to line this up over the top there. So what we have now is we've got that lovely silver coming through, and we've got the gaps still left in the middles here because I still want that white bit shining through from my under layers. So now we're going to take off the foam tape on the back. Again, these would be really nice if you was to use them with self-adhesive sheets and put glitter under them shining through, but we'll talk about things like that more when we look at our examples in a moment. We're then going to go on to our card. Now for the card, I like to bring a colour in 3 times, and I often waffle about this, but I find if I was just put that on a white card, I'd like the blue to be in other areas. So I've put a layer of the Midnight Blue at the very base of my 8x8 card. I've then brought in a piece of bright white cardstock, and then I've cut using a Noble double pierced and a double stitch. So I don't know if you're going to see that very well, but we have a pierced detail on the outside of the frame and a stitch detailing on the inside. It was the thinnest way I could get the frames to go together to make a really fine frame. We're then going to pop this in the middle of that set. So we've got that nice outer silver. Again, that's bringing in the silver from the colour behind our die cuts. We've also got some silver gems on the top here, just bringing that silver to the forefront. And then we're going to go in and we're going to add some more additions to this. So for this, what I'm going to use to begin with is my little double holly sprays. Now these come together in a set. As you can see, you've got a left and a right design, and you're going to get them both together in one pack. And I just think they're really good and really fun. Nice to dress up with a few pearls. Another bit I really like about them is you can actually interlock the twiddly bit at the end of them to make quite nice corner elements. Now we're going to cover this up, but we're going to keep it together because it also helps with our gluing. And we're going to add a bit of strength to keep it on our card because they are quite delicate. And we're going to pop a bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue just behind where the berries are on each of our holly sprigs. And then our poinsettia will glue the bit down at the bottom. And we're going to just bring this in and we're going to lay them going up and over our corners. Now you can play around with your locations for these, see how you want them to be, where you wish them to go. And we're going to do exactly the same coming down from the other corner. So we're going to interlock them once again. And we're going to go back in with our Cosmic Glue, Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear Glue, pop a bit of them behind the berries. And we're going to go for the other side this time. So opposite corner, just to frame our work in the middle. And we're going to bring them down, going down the sides. Lovely, pop them on. And then we're going to bring in a poinsettia die. Now this is one of Sue Wilson's triple layer poinsettia dies. Again, you're going to find this on the website. I've gone for the open work style of the petal, and I've just used 2 together. So there's 2 different layers here. I've glued them together, and then I've made up my own little rosette in the middle using small and large pearls just for as a bit of an interest. And we're going to use our Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear Glue again, and we're going to pop that one on this corner, and we're going to pop one on the opposite corner again. Now, if you've got a little mini expression that says Merry Christmas, or any die like that really. You could of course add a little Merry Christmas on here, you could add a stamped image on there if you wanted to, but I actually think that's quite nice and classic as it is. Now this one's still going to be a bit wet, and I know the flowers are going to come away because we're pushing the boundaries a bit. So I'm going to go back to this one and we'll have a last look at this one actually created and done. But I just think it's a nice way that you could batch make cards really quick, really simple, really easily. And to be honest, not that expensive, because all we've really used is literally a half sheets of card for your panel in the middle, and then a couple of offcuts of silver and a couple of layers. So again, not overly expensive to generate, and of course open to a lot more decoration if you wanted to, with different bits and bobs you could add in. So just quickly before I let you go, I thought we'd have a look at a few other cards I've made using these endless options, because there is so many ways we can use them. I don't want you to miss out on ideas. So this one, because they stay in the cardstock, this time I've just turned it into a little tiny box and made it as if it's a little tray to pop something into. So maybe if you wanted to give a gift card, or you wanted to put some family photos, or if you just like the idea of putting a stamped image in there as a little pocket, you can do that. You can also do one at the top and the bottom. I'll show you a card with that done in a moment. Sadly, this stamp is now discontinued and we haven't got any of these left. I don't think you're going to find these anywhere. So please don't go looking for them on the website. I know that's already sold out and gone. And sadly, it's also been discontinued by Woodware. But there are a couple of holly stamps on there that you might like the look of if you do like the idea of stamping them holly. We also have this card, which is showing us our lovely snowflake portrait in the middle. That is something we do have on the website still. And again, it's showing you how you could turn them into little boxes at the top and the bottom to give you a bit of interest. And then another card I just wanted to bring in. I've got lots of these. I'm sorry, I'm going to go quickly. This time we've just put silver mirror card behind them. And I've dabbed over the top some copper glitter kits to match in with the antique copper card colouring, which if you do go for the midnight blue pearl card, you're going to notice that the antique copper card goes really, really well with that, and does match in nicely if you use silver or gold mirror card with that little combo. I think that looks quite expensive, quite Victorian, quite pretty. So that's quite a nice way to dress them up. And then this one's quite a good one. So this time what I've done is I've actually cut the die, and let's see if I can find the die. Oh, we've got a bit of a timber going on, but don't worry, I'll lay them down. This time what I've done is I've taken the die, I've taken a blue piece of card, and I've cut the first one, and I've then cut the second one. Now the bit in the middle is going to be overlapped if you have a little look, because it's too close. So this part is going to turn into just a mishmash cut. But that's fine, because what we do is we take a knife and we cut along the edges. We then use our edger die to give us that lovely swirly edge across the here, that lovely S edge. And then that bit cuts out as an aperture. And all of the messy bit where we've double cut because of the die has gone over the same area twice, falls out, and we've then got it as a frame. So again, if you're a scrapbooker, really lovely to put your family photo in there. Or like this is a lovely stamp that we've got in stock on the website. You could pop that in there. Again, more dies underneath here. Both of those are on the website as well. So if you wanted to make that style of effect, you could. I've actually done mine on some acetate and then just folded it round. So I've got a nice springy dome on the top here. It's not going to get damaged in the post because it's nice and springy, but you could of course put it into a box if you prefer. But it's just a nice way to edge the picture in the middle. I actually think the picture in the middle might be a little bit boring on its own. This gives it more interest, more depth, more of a filigree finish to it. So it's just a way to dress things up. What other ones did I want to point out to you? Oh, this one's nice. Again, talking of simple cards, cut your die, pop it onto a self-adhesive sheet, pop through all the gaps your Aurora flakes. This is using that lovely purple and silver one that we have, and then just tie a bow around it. Just any ribbon, tie a bow around it. It looks like a present. That's a card you can make in 2 minutes flat and send to as many people as you need to. They're going to feel loved. You've ticked the box. Simple cards, over and done with. Nice and simple. This one down the front here as well, I'm going to try and reach this one. This one again is showing you how you could cut this into your card. It's a nice classic white on white card. I've literally taken the front page of my card and I've literally cut the die into it twice, going down vertically, and I've added in the delicate bit for the middle part and just added a few pearls and a ribbon on the side here. But it gives that look of laser cut cards just by using your dies that you're going to be able to recreate time and time again. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could put some colour behind here. You could do a nice pixie powdered panel to go under there. But I actually quite like white on white, so I quite like the shadow that creates. but it's up to you. And what have we got here? Oh, this is another one where we've gone horizontally with our design, matched up two, gone across it, just added in a little bar to join it together, gives you a nice area here for doing a nice picture or a big sentiment, whatever you wish to. And then another one down the front. I'm going to see if I can rescue it from our little display stand, because I think this is quite cute too. If you do want to just do it as an aperture on a card, don't forget they're not going to fall out of the card. They're going to stay in them, so you can do as many decoration elements on top as you want to. I've just added in a little word of snow, and then like I mentioned with that large one, you can just put a coloured background behind it, and again you've got a really simple, quick and easy card, but hopefully looks quite stylish. You could of course add on a border if you wanted to, or a sticker or more details if you want to. But hopefully that spoke you through most of the designs that you might have questions about on display. Told you a little bit more about how these dies are going to work for you and how fun they're going to be, and give you a little bit of inspiration. So once again, if you do wish to order any of the bits that you've seen on today's video, you can do that on our website. Just pop on www.craftmaniacraft.com. You're going to go to the As Seen on TV section, and then you're going to pick the page which is called November-YouTube-Last Minute Christmas Ideas, and everything's going to be in that folder for you to have a little browse of and get a little bit tempted. Do check out the designer boutique stamps, they're lovely, but lots and lots in there that you can have a little look at. Now you can either order on our website or you can order by phone. Our phone number is 01493 843 666, and Daphne is there ready and waiting to take your calls anytime between 9 AM and 7 PM 7 days a week. How our postage works: if you live in the UK and you spend over £5, your P&P is completely free. If you live internationally and you wish to shop with us, that's lovely too, not a problem. Your postage is capped at just £10. If we manage to get your postage cheaper than £10, we will actually refund the difference for you. But in complete honesty, the average international parcel, we send an awful lot to America, a lot to Australia, a lot to New Zealand. They tend to be about £24. They tend to take about 2 weeks on average to reach you. Obviously, that means you pay £10 of it, we will pay the rest of it. So that's the most you will pay in P&P from us, so that we try and keep it as cheap as we can for you. And then lastly, before I leave you, in November on Craftmania Crafts, what we are doing is if you spend over £10, you're actually going to receive a free die. It is while stocks last, and we are constantly running out of the designs we have. So I can't tell you which design it's going to be by the time we process and upload this video, because they're going that quickly. But if you go onto the website, a little picture will pop up and it will show you the current design we're on at the moment, if we've still got some left. And you will literally have that added into your basket free of charge. If you spend over £10, it will just go on into your parcel free of charge. You don't need to put up any comments or any coupons or anything like that on your order. We will just do it for you, and it will come through in your parcel free of charge as a thank you from us. If you've already had the die that's available at that time, then I'm afraid we won't send you more than one. It is one per household. But if the die design has changed since your last order, then you will qualify for the next one in the series. So if you wish to collect several, as long as your orders are over £10 each time and the die that's being displayed is one you haven't already received, we will keep adding them in your orders, and you can collect as many from the set as you wish to. And we're going to keep trying to do that all the way through November, but it is while stocks last. We're already on, at the time of filming this, I believe we're up to design 4 or 5. So do be aware that we may run out, to get your orders in as soon as you can. And do check that one is on the home screen so you know which one you're going to be receiving. Thank you so much for watching today. If you have any questions, just pop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them for you. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.